You're such an asshole!
Hello, children. Asshole Consulting. How you guys doing? Hello, asshole. I would like a video request, and I'd appreciate it if you would keep my name confidential. Due to crappy management scheduling, I'm unable to enjoy Bill Burr's live stand-up, so instead I'll invest the money in praising you and asking for some advice. That's a good secondary expenditure. Wanted to thank you for your wisdom on the following books: Reconnaissance Man, Worthless Batch of Pet Actors, Courses of the High IQ. I only wish I found them sooner, says everybody, which is why this Christmas, seriously, if you're thinking about a Christmas gift, go get one of my books for a loved one like a younger nephew or niece or brother or cousin. They have all assisted in giving me some mental clarity and even gave me the confidence to act upon them. I'm 19 years old who went through some depression that was quite serious at the time, that I quit all my sports by junior year, coasted through high school earning a 3.4 GPA with no effort, abused pot and dropped from 160 pounds down to 110 in about a year, which is pretty bad considering I'm only about 5'6". Yeah, I can now say I am sober and work out consistently again, slowly pushing through the 130s towards a much healthier weight. Yeah, you're almost there, depending on how wide your bone frame is. I'm 5'9", and even though they say, oh, you should be about 150, 160, it's like, nah, then I start getting fat. I should be at about like 145. During this time, I worked 3 jobs, averaging 48 to 54 hours a week. Between all of them, I managed to save over $10,000 during my senior year, on top of some prerequisite classes at the local community college that my school offered to pay for. I was assigned first-year professor, was a foreign Asian with a horrendous accent teaching college algebra. Thank God you have YouTube. Imagine my day, you didn't have it. You had Professor Bok Choy. It's like, what the fuck? And that's not racist, it's true. You colleges and universities pay these guys. You want to talk about racist? It's how little you pay those guys to come over here, and then how much you rape your kids or your students. But yeah, he can take care of it. Doesn't matter. We don't really care about the kids anywhere. Who cares if he speaks English or not? I had something similar in a bond class. Oh my God, he was worthless. A typical millennial cock-teasing attention whore for a biology lecture, and the same boring, cranky, single biology, zoology, feminist teacher from the high school for a biomedical lab who already disliked me because I would sleep and have girls on my lap at all times during class. How do you get girls on your lap? I was already resenting college, but pushed through anyhow because it was free. After a month of graduation, I reached my limit due to casual pizza delivery. I received a tip that was wrapped in tinfoil containing Puerto Rican change and some meth. Typical fucking New Mexico. Isn't Puerto Rican change American? They got to use the dollar over there. They're U.S. territory. Sure it wasn't Mexican change? I decided I needed to change, so I pulled out $1,000 from my savings, quit all my jobs, left a note on my door for my neglectful mother, and decided to Christopher McCandless a bit. Separate myself, ultimately solve the majority of my depression from the normal sentence of the academia prison and my day-to-day hustle. On the road, I hitchhiked across the Southwest for about 3 months. Awesome. During this time, I hiked parts of the Grand Canyon, explored Denver, and did some deep-sea fishing in the Gulf of Mexico off South Padre Island in Texas. Glad I charged you a lot. Upon returning home, I took an IQ test with the results being 117, which is fair for potential. I also had my first real talk with my mother ever, who criticized me and gave me the typical bullshit religious advice of just pray. Yeah, ditch your mom. Ditch your mom. You're done with that. Don't not talk to her, but you have nothing left to do with your mother. It is utterly worthless. In the month of September, I took a handful of online courses teaching myself digital marketing. Seth Himes, you go through him, and managed to get some freelance experience doing some PPC SEO work for a fitness company in London, a taxi cab company in Denver, and even work on. I'm so happy I charged you a lot. Affiliate, blah, blah, blah. I ultimately came to the conclusion I want to join the military to escape the shitty state and give me the focus I desire to achieve greatness, specifically the Air Force. My FAB score was only 59, with my strengths being general, electrical, mechanical, okay? And I had to provide about half a dozen medical waivers from all the past injuries I accumulated from sports. Those range from a dislocated jaw, Seems like a bit overkill, honestly, he wrote. You mean like your fucking email? I'm interested in pursuing something IT, specifically cybersecurity, because I believe computer programming will not be eliminated, but reduced in size and automated with years to come. I'm thinking about an associate's in computer information systems, network administrative concentration from the community college of the Air Force, and eventually a bachelor's in information communication technology. Bill, I'd like to hear your thoughts of this type of career and degree. I feel to be in a rush dilemma with myself because much has happened these past few months. I honestly don't want to go to college yet because I know I like the discipline, earn desirable grades, and I have my mindset on the military. Dude, you are going to so have to fucking cut to the chase when you get to the military. Your drill instructor is going to break your fucking neck. But I'd like to hear your opinion on my options to get the best recommendations possible. All right, now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you my thoughts, but then I also sent your request to my buddy who was a major in the Air Force, and I'm going to read what he said, because he obviously knows a little bit more about the Air Force than me. Join the Air Force as soon as possible regardless. I'm with you on that. Hold off my enlistment to earn enough college credits with CLEPs and DSSTs to earn a higher rank and a certification to receive a signing bonus to seem more desirable as an asset for a job and more money. Can give you more detail? No, I don't. I don't want any more detail from you. I like option 2 more than option 1. But if push comes to shove, and it's not like you can't go to school. Look, you have the capacity to work a shit ton of hours. So when you're done with your military duties, then you go take whatever the college courses are that the Air Force is offering for free or pay you to take, or CLEP and DSST, and get yourself up to a higher rank. 3, focus on my online freelance work while working to see if there is potential. No. I mean, why can't you do both? What prevents you from working and doing your online freelance work? You got the ability to work 2 full-time jobs. If you were working 48 to 54 hours a week and going to school full-time, high school, albeit it's not really a challenge, you have the ability to keep trying your freelance work. So that's in the background. That's not a bad out. I'm not dismissing it, but I wouldn't, I should sit down and study with my $10,000, get my online drop-shipping company going. Oh no, it's not working. YouTube demonetized my account. What do I do? So no, you're not going to put that at the center of your life. But I would, all right, I appreciate what you think. Let me look at what my buddy said. So far for me, it's option number 2. So my buddy, a major. Here he is. Good Lord, he wrote more than you did. What's with you fucking Air Force people? He says to 1, yes, if you could do so with a signed contract from the recruiter specifying your Air Force specialty code, AFSC, aka your job, or at least a job track. Not just promises from a recruiter. Not enforceable, but you might need to do number 2 first because the Air Force is more selective than other services and not exactly hurting for people. I don't think they make a lot of accommodations case far as delaying, but doesn't hurt to ask, I guess. That specific recruiter could be short on quota, though. 2, good call, so he agrees with me. However, getting the necessary credits just via testing will be a motherfucker. You need 20 hours for E2 and 45 for E3, so that's basically 7 or 15 tests. I could have done it back then if I'd been thinking along those lines. This guy's a genius, by the way. But that's still a lot, and I test extremely well. Hopefully, he already has some college credits. I'd prioritize getting in ASAP if he's just planning on getting out after his commitment anyway. 3, good call here too, probably more relevant. And he goes on. Also, I'd look into the Navy as well, not the other 2. Wait, did I miss something? Or is this a complete... Yeah, no, that's the same one. Okay. The CCAF associate degree isn't a bad idea, but I'll go ahead and also let the tuition assistance program pay for the full bachelor's, or look into whether the GI Bill will pay for intensive coding boot camp type programs after he gets out. Getting a TS clearance is going to be necessary. You know what, I'll copy and email this to you. Hang on, let me double check. Yeah, it is the same one. He just rambled like you did. Getting a TS clearance is going to be necessary to get into a lot of military cybersecurity related jobs, so tell him to take care of his credit and clean up his social media, and tell him that he hasn't used any illegal drugs. The clearance will also make him money on the outside. Tell anyone asking about enlisting to get in shape well before basic training, including looking up the service's fitness tests and making sure they train to them, especially if they're looking to do SEAL training, Special Forces, pararescue. See, he's going way off the original mission I gave him, because those tests are harder. Not the case here, but he'll just have to have a much easier time in basic and can focus on stuff other than wheezing. a person that he and I know in common would be the person to ask. It's relatively hard to get into other cyber jobs at all. And then, as I understand, they're extremely selective about the people they pick for more elite jobs. Didn't have a degree. Bunch of letter certs. So I guess what I'm saying is make sure he knows he needs to bust his ass and ace every challenge and be really smart naturally. Has he been tested because he's jumping in a shark pit and will get eaten if he's not a shark, or he needs to have a few backup plans, or both? Best answer. So whatever he... God almighty. So whatever he does in the Air Force, tell him to make sure that he's orienting it towards acquiring skills that build his overall talent stack, as Scott Adams would call it. Even if he can't get an elite job that gets him a job in the NSA or on the outside, the combo of being a vanilla cybersecurity guard and having a TS clearance, and perhaps working in a nuclear environment, for example, may make him a perfect fit to do cybersecurity for a nuclear power plant or the Department of Energy or Oak Ridge National Laboratory. Also, if he does 3 to 4 years and wants to get out but still wants education benefits and whatnot, look into the Guard or Reserve. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of reserve jobs in that field, especially in the D.C. area. My ROTC buddy is the vice commander of a place. And he has to test extremely well on the ASVAB for that. Seems like his grammar is in order. It's hard to correct that anyway. So tell him to look up whatever math study materials are out there for it and learn that inside and out. There's plenty of info out there. All right, that's what he said. I don't know who was longer, you or him. All right. Hopefully that gives you a lot of detailed advice. But to simplify things, 1 is fine, 2 is better, 3 you can do regardless of whether you're doing 1 or 2. That's just my opinion. Although if you got a lot of studying to do, maybe 3 is done. So. All right, Captain's off to the next request. Give me money if you want questions answered. I'll talk to you guys later. Toodles.